It's the nation's favourite antiques experts.
Yes, a good weight.
And it smells.
Oh, steady, behind the wheel of a classic car.
Good morning, my lady.
Good morning, Parker.
And a goal to scar Britain for antiques. Whoopsie.
Come on.
The aim to make the biggest profit at auction. But it's no mean feat. They'll be worthy winners.
And valiant losers.
Will it be the high road to glory?
It's about winning.
Or the low road to disaster? Pop, pop. This is the Antiques Road Trip.
Uh-oh.
Hello, Hampshire. Today finds our heroes deep in one of the last great woods of England.
It's very tranquil.
Yes.
Really peaceful.
You can imagine at dusk you can look into the forest and there'll be little elves and fairies all.
Oh, little
dancing around.
pixies.
Yeah.
Have you seen them?
These children of the New Forest are auctioneers Catherine Southern and Tim Medhurst.
That's Black Beauty there.
So lovely.
And like a couple of down-at-heel game wardens, they have a 1970s Land Rover to trundle about the reserve in.
What is good about this is that you're so high up and you
Yeah.
can peer into the fields over the hedges. Oh dear. No, I'm really getting to grips with this.
Nice to hear, because Catherine didn't exactly take to the old tank, first of all.
I think you suit it actually, especially with your tweed.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
Well, we're matching.
We are matching, we're two Tweedies.
Tweedle Tim from Dorset is enamoured with all antique eras.
Aesthetic movement and Regency period.
He's even keen on the prehistoric. While Catherine from Kent is especially attracted to scientific instruments.
Hugely desirable.
And also camels on wheels. Only joking. Although she did buy one last time and made a tidy profit.
Yay!
And talking of money, Catherine started out with £200 and after one auction, she's ended up with just over £5 less. While Tim, who began with the same sum, has grown his kitty by nearly £50, or almost 2 ponies, as they might say around these parts.
There's a little gap. Oh,
Yeah.
Tim, help me with the gears. Find me,
Okay.
what do I want? Second.
Second.
That would help.
These two embarked from Lewes with a fair bit of southern England on their itinerary. They'll then migrate to the Midlands and waltz through Wales before heading south again through the Cotswolds to end up in Wiltshire at Devizes.
I feel like I'm sort of on a mission.
Yeah, you're giving it some welly now.
Today's auction is in Alresford, but we start out at Lyndhurst. The capital of the forest, where some time ago a dragon was once slayed. Allegedly, that is.
Lovely village, isn't it, or town?
I don't know, village, town. It's got a town feel to it.
Officially a village, though.
Packed to the rafters.
It is, we've got a lot to look through here.
Plenty of room, too. Shouldn't be stepping on each other's toes in here.
Do you want to see something gory? This is right up my street.
Oh, yes, please.
2 things. First of all, what's this? It's got a rounded blade at the top and then another one on the side. This, my friends, is a skull saw, and it is part of a set of surgical instruments that would date from about 1860. This would have been accompanied by perhaps some blades and a trepanning drill. It's priced up at £98, which is a bit steep. Want to see something even worse?
Go on, then.
Well, you open it up, 3 blades with 3 smaller triangular blades. And what is it? It's a bloodletting instrument. It's a fleam. You would take the sharp blade at the top, find your vein. It can be used for humans, but it was also a veterinary instrument. So 2 instruments to turn your stomach over. You probably think I'm being extremely gory, but these are just the sort of thing that I like to buy. This one, not quite the right period, but 18th century surgical instruments are the business.
And talking of passions,
Oh, my favourite thing, coins. Well, there's a good array here. We've got early coins, which are hand-struck. We've got Elizabeth I, James I, Charles I. We've even got some medieval ones. And Roman as well. Do you know, what interested me to start with coins is that not all of them were really expensive. And as a youngster, you'd find tubs of coins relatively cheaply. I mean, we've got a Roman coin here, priced at £12. Emperor Diocletian, I think he reigned from the 280s AD to early 300 AD.
I knew that.
I just love the fact that I can hold this like someone did when it was made about 1700 years ago. And actually, do you know what? I'm just going to have it in my hand. Feel that history. Fantastic.
They're both having such a nice time.
There's so much to see here, it's brilliant.
But we do have to actually buy something here this morning, remember?
This is so cute. Oh, look at this. What is it? Well, it's a little cannon, a little brass cannon, but it's actually a watch key. But this is obviously for a pocket watch, I would have thought. Look at that. I think that's delightful.
But the ticket price is £89.
Oh, it's a propelling pencil holder. Really nice. I would like to own that. But not at that money.
I thought we might be finally off the mark there.
The more you look at a cabinet, the more you see. When it's got one or two good things, it's normally got lots of good things. If you look at this from a distance, you think it's a half hunter pocket watch. So a pocket watch where you've got like the centre windows where you can see inside and see the hands. But if you bring that closer, it's actually got a little compass in the centre. But there's something more to this. Open it up and what do you find? Look at that, a little foldable drinking cup. Pull this out, get your hip flask out, pour in your little toddy and have a little drink. I think that's absolutely super. I love things, they're not quite what you think when you spot them. That has got £98 on it. That's a lot of money for it. But go and find another one. And I still like that cannon. Two things.
Well, at least she's got a list, I suppose.
Oh, it's all very exciting, isn't it?
What about our Tim, then? Elsewhere in the shop.
Oh, do you know, I really love this, and it's a real shame because I can't buy it because it's not for sale. Chinese, 19th century, Jardinier, and do you know what? If we could have bought this, we might have been in the money.
Very droll. Oh, not more of those.
Camels. Camels. There are camels here. I love these.
Buy 4 and get a palm tree thrown in.
I love this little set. But it's got AF on it. AF meaning there's something wrong with it.
Stands for as found. But they might just be lost.
Would have been lovely to see them in the original box. And the paint is flecking off of the legs quite a bit, I guess, where they've just been handled and played with over the years. I would have thought they're lead, but they're still quite striking.
£89 though. Over to Janine. Janine?
What's the best you can do on that?
Possibly about 60, 65.
Right, okay. I think that might be a bit too much. I do really like it. For me, it would need to be around the sort of £40 mark, which is a bit low for you.
Okay.
So, while Janine asks about those camels, let's have a peek at Tim. Having a peek.
That's nice, isn't it? From a distance, you might think that this is that household name Moorcroft. No, it's not. It's by Dressler, set up by Julius Dressler. It's a Bohemian factory.
Makers of Art Nouveau or Jugendstil pottery.
Dating to around 1910, maybe 1915. And it's got this wonderful floral decoration, nice pinks and greens on this darker green background. And it's got these lovely Art Nouveau floral scrolls down here as well. I think that's quite nice. It's got a few issues which I've seen, but essentially it's in nice condition. Might go and have a chat.
Ticket price £49. Time to consult Janine.
I found this vase that I quite like.
Right, okay.
The only thing that was giving me a bit of hesitation was there's a few little
Right,
chips.
okay.
And I was hoping if we could get it near to the £30, but see what you think.
Okay, so let's have a look at the ticket. 30 is probably a bit tight.
Okay.
35 would do it though.
Do you know, that's brilliant.
Right.
35's a
Lovely.
deal. Thank you very much.
So, that gets him underway.
Thank you very much. I'll take that.
Just don't drop it, whatever you do. Back inside, the lead camels have been reduced to £40. But remember the Canon pencil and the compass.
Are there any deals to be done on those? Can anything be done?
Possibly a bit better if you buy both items.
Oh, right, okay. What sort of deal were you thinking of?
80 for the two if you buy both.
Could it be 70? And then I'll buy the camels as well. Can that be? Okay, so 70 for these, and that would make it to 110. Yes, okay, I'll just have a little think about that.
No worries.
Okay. That sounds a nice little deal, nice little package. Compass,
Pencil holder.
and camels. You couldn't get more diverse than that. Camels were lucky for me last time, weren't they?
So that's £30 for the Canon pencil fob, 40 for the compass and 40 for the camels. Time to bid a fond farewell to Lyndhurst and find out where Tim's taken himself off to. Up the creek, actually. Ealing Creek at Totton, to find out about Ealing Tide Mill in the company of Ruth Carr.
What is a tide mill?
Well, as simply as I can put it, a tide mill is a mill which harnesses the power of the tide, the sea, to drive its machinery.
Key to that energy supply is tidal range, and the UK has one of the greatest tidal ranges in the world. Yet despite that, Ealing's mill is one of only two still working.
The earliest reference to a mill here in Ealing is in the Domesday Book of 1086.
Wow, so we're talking the time of William the Conqueror.
We are, yeah, around 900 years ago, so that's quite a long tradition of producing flour here in Ealing.
It's amazing history, isn't it?
It is.
Millers have been harnessing tidal power since Roman times, and as with Ealing, the mill is usually situated on a river estuary, thus able to exploit two tides daily and also bring in grain on sea-going barges from the eastern counties of England. Once owned by King John himself, the mill has been rebuilt several times.
Thank you.
Now let's meet Matt the Miller
Oh, hello. Lovely to meet you.
and discover what distinguishes a tide mill from a run-of-the-mill.
We've got two trays. So the first one represents the tidal side, and then when this one fills with water, it will push open a gate and it will fill up the second tray, which is our mill pond. When the tide has finished coming in, the gates will have trapped all of that water on the mill pond side, and the tide will start to drop. When that water has dropped low enough, we can then open up our sluice gate inside the mill and drain the mill pond water through the machinery and therefore driving it.
Sounds simple enough, just the sort of thing we could do with right now, in fact.
In the mill's heyday, what was its output? What was the production like?
So running two sets of water wheels, each powering two sets of millstones, our mill could have produced about 3 tonnes every day.
Wow. So is this the finished product in here?
Yep, so this is a 100% wholemeal flour for you.
Is this the perfect batch?
Yep, so you can see large, chunky flakes of bran in there, and it'll make you a really nice wholemeal loaf.
Very nice.
Or a delicious biscuit with a cup of rosy Lee, of course.
Ruth, why have mills like this become such a rarity now?
When new technologies come in, usually the one before falls by the wayside a little bit. So with steam power and then electricity quite soon afterwards, mills became bigger operations, and smaller mills like Ealing weren't really as profitable or as economical.
But that's not the end, is it? Because we're sitting here.
No, in the 1970s there's a real rise in the interest in industrial heritage, and in 1975 New Forest District Council bought the mill and it opened as a working heritage site.
And I'm really looking forward to trying one of these biscuits. Would you like a biscuit?
I would love one, thank you.
There we are. And I always dunk my biscuits.
Good man,
I don't
that's
know about
done.
you, so. Lovely.
Very good.
And when the Dunkin's done, it's time to meet up with his road-tripping chum in the landing.
Are you good at directions?
Oh my goodness, I'm absolutely hopeless. But don't you worry, in this beast I shall get you there. I can tell you that much. Oh, Timothy.
Language. Nighty-night. Next day, all 4 wheels seem to be coming into their own. Hold tight.
Are we still going southeast?
Let me check. Just look at this.
Oh, I like the look of that.
You know I'm good at navigating. Well, now I'll be extra specially good. It's actually a little compass.
Ah.
You open it up, there is no watch, but there is, dun, da, 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 a little floatable jiffy.
For your little tipple. I love that.
Yesterday, Catherine also bought a brass cannon pencil fob and some toy soldiers on camelback,
Camels were lucky for me last time, weren't they?
leaving her with about £85 for today's purchases, while Tim only picked up an Art Nouveau vase.
Thank you very much.
So he still has over £200 for whatever he spots in the shops today.
Try not to go towards the water. Carry on straight.
Quite. The land is not altogether seaworthy, I'd imagine. Later, they'll be heading to an auction in Alresford. But the first shop today is in East Hampshire at Horndean, where Tim's on his own, having already dropped Catherine off.
Oh, morning.
Pretty flamingos.
Hi there. Hi, I'm Tim.
Hi, Tim. Chris.
Nice to meet you.
I'm Tim too. Bit of a shambles in here. That's the name of the shop anyway.
Dan Dare, look at that. I used to love comics. And this one's an Eagle comic, probably 1950s, and it's Dan Dare, Pilot of the Future. Dan Dare was first created in the 1950s by Frank Hampson. And what I love about early comics like this is the artwork. Just look at these drawings, and the colours were just brilliant as well. And if you open it up, look at these pop-up scenes.
Yeah, with a very interesting computer.
This does take me back to my childhood. I loved collecting old Eagle annuals. The stories were great, the illustrations were great. This comic, I think, with the wear and tear to it, might be worth sort of £30 to £50, but sadly, not old enough for me today. I'm going for an antique, so I will love it and leave it.
He probably does that with the magazines in the newsagents as well. Typical.
Oh, I love the look of this clock. Straight away, I'm thinking Charles Robert Ashby, Archibald Knox, those great movers and shakers of the early 20th century. The design of this is quite nice. It's probably dating to the 1930s, maybe even the 40s, something of that era. Here you've got these wonderful Liberty-style hands. You've got the fresh style of numbering on the dial and the great design on these brass mounts. This really does fit in most people's homes, doesn't it? It's sort of a timeless piece, you'd say.
Oh, he's a wag.
And I love the sort of wear to it as well. It's nice condition, but there are some signs of age. The top has got a lovely polished surface with dark edges. Essentially, it's in good condition. I'd like to know if it actually works. Oh, seems like it chimes. So it's a chiming mantle clock. Let's just see if this works. Listen to that. Works a treat. Fantastic. It's got a nice little movement and it chimes as well. So that is quite a nice quality little mantle clock. I wonder what the price is. There's no price on it. I like it when there's no prices on things.
Maybe fresh to the market then. No stone unturned, eh?
Oh, this looks interesting. Oh, I like that. This is really cool. This is what looks like a mid-19th century Italian plinth. And what it is it's carved wood, and then it's had a gesso covering it, and then it's been gilt.
Gesso is an undercoat containing chalk to seal the timber.
The design of this is really beautiful. You've got these lovely carved cherubs amongst these swirling clouds here. Some slight wear on the tops and slightly showing some gesso in different places. Once upon a time, it would have been a plinth for, say, a Madonna or a similar religious figure, and would have been standing in perhaps a big house in Italy. And in the last 150 years, it's made its way here. And this really would appeal to the decorative market. I like it when antiques are a bit grubby. There's so much dust there that's been sitting around somewhere, not being loved for a long time. And I think it's about time we put it in an auction and somebody bought it, cleaned it up and loved it.
No price on that either. Hardly in the shop window, though.
So I like this. I want to buy it.
I think he's quite excited.
Oh, Chris, I've had a good
Tim.
rummage around and I've found a few things. I've got a bit of time on my hands here. Do you mind
Oh
taking?
dear, oh dear.
Managed to find some goodies then.
I have. There's no tickets on these.
Nope. So, funny enough, it's 65 for the Giltwoods
Yeah.
and 65
It's
for
a little more than I was hoping. I was thinking, can we get them near to the £80 for the two?
Oh, I won't be able to do 80.
No.
I can do you 110.
110. Tell you what, can we do around £100, 50 quid each, and call it a deal?
Yeah, go on then.
Yeah?
Do you 100.
Okay, lovely.
Yeah.
Thanks very much.
Okay,
Good deal.
no
Right.
probs.
Nicely done, you two.
100, there's £100.
Brilliant.
Thank you very
Cheers,
much.
buddy.
Now grab him and go before he changes his mind. And we'll find out where Catherine's got to. Down on the docks, beneath the Spinnaker Tower, she's taking a wee detour from shopping in the historic naval port of Portsmouth, where she's come to hear the story of the local educational pioneer and altruist, John Pounds, from historian Matt Wingett.
Matt, lovely to meet you. I'm Catherine.
Back in the late 18th century, when, thanks to the British Empire, the city was considered one of the great ports of the world, old Portsmouth would have looked very different.
This area, Spice Island, was a really Wild West kind of a place. It was rife with prostitution, with sailors getting drunk, with fights breaking out.
And what about John Pounds? How did he fit into this?
When he was a young lad, he was indentured into the dockyard to work as a sawyer. And he was working there on the side of a ship and fell and pretty much broke his back.
How old was he?
He was just shy of 15. And there was no social support, there was nothing to help him on his way. And what he did was he thought, well, what can I do now to work? So he set himself up as a cobbler, because you're seated as a cobbler.
But John Pounds was to be no average cobbler,
Thank you.
because his response to the social deprivation he saw around him was to become a teacher as well.
At the beginning, it was his nephew that he was teaching.
That's right, yeah. He got such satisfaction from that. He then taught his neighbours' kids. And then he realised there were all these poor, destitute children all over the town. And he decided that he would make them his mission. Because otherwise, they were just destined to being vagabonds, possibly with a gallows at the end of it.
So he was a natural teacher.
He was, and he really cared about people. He did all sorts. He didn't only teach them to read, it was cooking, shoe mending. He used to take them up for walks as well into the countryside. Yeah.
Were the children coming in little groups of 2 or 3 or?
What, to learn? No, they'd get as many as 40 in here.
40 children in this space?
Yeah. Let me
That's
show
right.
you. Come on in, kids.
Oh my goodness me. Oh, don't you look amazing? Wow. Wow, and they keep coming. Look at that. Now, my maths is not great, but there would have been more than this.
This is 13 children. It would have been absolutely rammed in here with the kids.
This is a copy of John's actual workshop, which was taken down and then lost during World War II. And beside it is his grave. John Pounds passed away in 1839, having given every last penny to the children he looked after, but his influence was to be felt throughout the 19th century.
Thousands turned up for his funeral. To commemorate his contribution to life in the town, the local publisher, Charpentier, published an engraving of him, which made its way around the country. And the Reverend Thomas Guthrie was at Anstruther in Scotland when he saw this image on the wall. And he then wrote a plea for ragged schools, a pamphlet which demanded the children of the poor to be looked after.
Guthrie established a ragged school in Edinburgh, and soon the movement for the free education of destitute children had spread across Britain, with a certain Portsmouth shoemaker credited as their inspiration.
Do you know how many children John Pounds helped and educated?
It's estimated that in his lifetime he helped around about 500 kids. Portsmouth is really proud of him.
Really?
In 2000 he was voted the local man of the millennium, and that's ahead of Charles Dickens and Arthur Conan Doyle and Rudyard Kipling, who are also associated with the town.
Not to mention Isambard Kingdom Brunel. Quite an honour. But whilst Catherine's been exploring history, Tim's just kept on trucking. What's the mood in the monster?
I've still got over 100 quid to spend on 2 items. I'm really chuffed with what I bought already today. And I think actually I'm on a winning streak here.
Vroom vroom! Well, he's a way to go just yet. with one last shop in the West Sussex hamlet of Runkton. Does look like a good one, though. Mangan's the name.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, I'm Tim.
Hi, Tim. Nice meeting you.
What's your name?
Rudy.
Lovely to meet you, Rudy.
Hi.
I can't wait to look around. This looks amazing.
Be my guest.
Grazie mille. Got precisely £108 and 40p left, remember? I wonder what he'll plump for.
Now, you would automatically think that this was a little pepperette, and we hope it's silver, but of course it might be silver plate, so we'll just have a look at it. We've got some hallmarks, which is brilliant, so we know that it's silver. We've got the maker's name, and then the lion, which means it's English standard silver, then a leopard's head, which means that it was assayed in London. And it's not a pepperette, it's actually a pounce pot. And if you were a, say, early 19th century lady or gentleman writing a letter, after you'd written your letter and you didn't want to smudge your ink, you would take hold of your pounce pot, which would have your pounce powder in it, and you would just dust over the page, blow your paper, and you would be left with a page where you couldn't smudge your ink. It would date to around 1800, and it's also got a little engraved crest there. You've got collectors all over the world who collect little bits of Georgian silver, and I think they would want to own that. This is going to go into the definite maybe pile until I can find out a price, because there's no ticket.
Bit of a theme today, and with that, we'll catch up with his chum. Now also shopping, but still on the coast, at Emsworth. Used to be a tide mill here, you know. I wonder what the etc. is. Well, we're about to find out.
Busy, busy ladies.
Oh, hello.
Hello, Catherine. Very nice
Very
to meet you.
pleased to meet you. I'm Hilary.
Hilary.
And this is Bella.
Hello, Bella. Nice to meet you.
Ciao, Bella. Catherine still has almost £85 left to spend.
Love the peacock chair. Peacock, because of this big spread behind, a bit like how a peacock would spread its wings. Made from rattan. And they're actually, she says, trying to pick it up, they are actually quite lightweight, but they're really sturdy. And what's nice about this one is that it's all quite intact. And this is the sort of thing that would have been used as a prop for photographers, I think in the late 60s, early 70s, and you would have had the stars sitting in something like this, in their gorgeous gowns, like Elizabeth Taylor or Diana Ross. And I think I quite like it. It might be something that I could purchase, because to me, £48 doesn't seem that bad. Bella, your peacock chair. What's the sort of price you can do on that, Bella?
What are you looking at?
No, you tell me. I couldn't possibly.
Well, I would hope to get 40 for it.
Can I have a sit on it
Certainly.
and see how it is?
I think it's a must.
I'm saying it's really sturdy, and this is the point where I just completely fall onto the floor. No, it is, isn't it?
It's comfy.
Yeah, I'd like this myself. Oh, it feels quite peaceful. I quite like this.
Very zen.
Very zen,
It is
yeah.
very zen.
Yeah, I like this.
It's gin and tonic time, I think.
Lordy.
Can I reserve this at 40 and have a little look for something else as well? So comfortable.
Anyway, back in Runkton, where Tim's pounce pot is pending, and Rudy has a mandolin to tune.
Oh, I like these. These are great. So I'm assuming they're continental 19th century dough bowls or similar. If you had a big old country kitchen, that would look great in there. But essentially, you could just keep using these forever. Look at that. That glaze is fantastic. It almost looks like a Chinese one. Just look at that colour, it's so rich. And you've got some nice wear around here, so it's definitely a period piece. Rudy?
Yes, Tim. I'll tell you what I do.
Can you tell me about them?
They're called passata dishes.
Right.
And they come from the Naples area.
Ah, they're Naples.
And they used to fill it up with some Marzano tomatoes, put those on the top of the flat roof, let the sun do the rest.
Sun-dried tomatoes?
Slowly you will see the tomato going down in until they reach a certain stage. Then they will mix it with capers and olive oil and then put them in jars.
Lovely.
Other time of the year, they will use them for other things.
Wow. So age-wise, are we thinking mid-19th century?
I would think so, yes.
So price-wise, I'm just looking at these. This one, you've got a couple up here at 50 quid, and there's another one at 150 and one at 50 down there.
They vary from
is this a bank?
50 to 150 in price. That one could be 50.
Tell you what, I found this pounce pot, which I'm thinking about. What sort of price are you asking for on that?
We had £30 on there.
£30. Could you do 40 on this and 20 on that? So 60 quid the two.
Go for 70.
What about 65?
65.
Una buona risposta.
Thank you very much, sir.
So that's his work done. He just needs to go and find Catherine now. As do we. What's it worth, Emsworth? Got her peacock chair for £40. Anything else?
Now that's quite hard to see whether that is Chinese or Japanese, but I'm guessing probably Chinese. What I like about it is it's got a really cute handle. It's quite nice. It's in lovely condition. This is like a tapestry with all these pagodas and the trees. Well, you find this kind of clouds, I suppose you call them, on robes, Chinese robes and things. I'm guessing it is early 20th century. It's probably 1920s. Somebody visiting the Far East at that time may have brought back. To have something like this in the 1920s, everyone would have stared at you and thought, gosh, what a fabulous handbag, darling. It shows you've travelled the world. And then there's this, which is silver. Very stylised brooch by Osprey. Just looks like a pendant brooch with a bird of prey, I don't know, an eagle or something. Is that nice? What do you prefer, that one or that one? That one's 35 and that one's 38.
Well, in that case...
Hilary.
Yes.
I have two items. The chair I'm definitely having. I like this bag. I think it's Chinese because of these sort of clouds.
And you like the
Osprey
brooch. Imagine you've walked out having bought the bag. Think how you feel. Okay, then imagine walking out buying the brooch.
Okay. Well, I'd be very happy if I would buy that slightly less than 30. I'd be ecstatic.
How much less?
Oh, only pennies.
28.
28. I think that's really fair.
Thanks, Hilary.
Right, I have my bag.
Yeah.
And I'm going to attempt to carry out that chair.
Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed.
And come back again, won't
I
you?
will.
So, with our shopping complete, it's time to get that chair in the bag
Fabulous. I'm going to be the talk of the town.
and set the compass to auction.
Right, so where are we going? We are going.
Northwest would be nice.
Turn around, something has gone wrong.
And eventually, shut eye. Always sunny in this part of Hampshire. Nice watercress too. After kicking off back in the New Forest at Lyndhurst, our top twosome had eventually wound up in Alresford at Andrew Smith & Son with internet bidding.
It's a great setting for an auction, isn't it?
It is. I'm really excited.
Are you?
Are you?
Yes.
Sounds a tad apprehensive to me.
Thank you.
Catherine parted with £178 for 5 auction lots, including 4 more ships of the desert.
Camel core lead soldiers. Now, I would call these a little bit play-worn, but I can see why she bought them. They're definitely a collectible, but £40 she paid. I can see her losing a bit of money on those.
Beau Tim, meanwhile, spent a bit more, £200, also on 5 auction lots.
It's such a good thing. Why do the shops I go to never have anything like this? In this sale room, it jumps out to everybody. Everyone's going to see this. Everyone's going to bid on this. Such a cool thing. Well done, Tim.
Yeah, bravo. Now let's have a word with Hampshire Hammer Smith auctioneer Andrew Smith.
The compass, these sort of things really do sell well now. There's a big market for these little collectibles. The mantle clock is really good. It's got a nice arts and crafts feel to it, sort of hint of knocks. We've put 100 to 150 on it. On a good day, we should go for more.
Very positive, and there's not a moment to lose.
I love it here.
I do as well. It's an amazing building.
Yeah.
Kicking off with Tim's big Neapolitan passata bowl.
I'm going to start you at £30. Is there two in the room? At £30, £55 straight in on the net. That's what we like.
55 quid?
My commission bid's knocked out. It's at £55 in. Any more? At £55. We are selling.
Come on, madam.
55, very last time.
How did that make £55?
Who knows, but we're all very pleased about it.
Small profit.
You're lucky to get anything on that.
Catherine's first offering, the Compass Cum drinking cup.
We have a commission bid. I'm going to start you at £20. Is there two in the room? At £20,
Commission
we're
bid at
selling. Is there
20.
two? 22, 25, 27.
Come on.
At £27, you'll kick yourself if you miss it. £30 down here and
Good,
two.
well done.
32 back on the net. 35.
This is World War
37.
I.
It's like pulling teeth.
At £35, any more? At £35, then.
I
think
cannot
the
believe
inspector's on
that.
the way. At £35, we're selling now. Last time.
And he had that up in the shop for about £80 or something.
Well, someone's got themselves a very sweet deal.
That, out of all of our items, I thought might go for a bit more than that.
Now for Tim's mantle clock.
The auctioneer's going steady. He's got time on his hands. Well, he will have in a minute.
Not again.
I'm going to start you at £80. Is there five in the room? At £80,
it's gotta be
85
more,
on the
come
net, 90 and 5, 95 on the net, 100 in the room, 110 now on the net, 120.
I was going to go 80.
120 is in the room. Is there 130?
Green
130
bidder.
now, 140. 130 on the net. Is there 140? At £130, we are selling. If you're all done, at £130
That's a cracking
on the
result.
net.
So,
done. Well done, because that was a really
it
good
was a
thing.
nice thing.
Another fine profit for Tim.
Well done.
Thank you.
Catherine's little brass cannon pencil fob is next under the hammer.
£30. £30. Try 20.
Come on. They don't like small
short.
things here, do
£20.
they?
No, they want big
£20.
things.
No, a tenner if you like. £10, thank you. £10 in the middle, we're selling. Is there 12? At £10, any more? 12 on the net. 15, 17, at £15. Any more? 17, 20, 22, 25.
Come on.
Don't
At
think.
£22 then. At 22, 25, 27.
No, don't say
at
no,
£25
sir. Say yes.
then. Selling in the middle of the room here at £25. Are you all done?
They don't like small things here.
No.
I think she might have a point. Long way to go, though, eh? Tim's Bohemian vase. Can he make yet more profits?
At £30. Any more? At £30.
Put the
At
hammer
£30,
down.
I'll lose a little bit of money on
at
this.
32, 35, 37, 40, 42,
How did that happen?
45,
Did the room
47,
bidding?
Vase.
50 and 5 at £50.
No
Last
way.
time then at £50.
I'm sorry, but that is wrong.
In all honesty, that did surprise me.
I think he's got the magic touch today.
I'm actually very pleased for you because you're
Oh,
such a
thank
lovely
you.
person.
Nice name, too. Now your chair is definitely not small.
Start me at £40. £40. £40. £40. 20. £20 surely. £20. £20. 20 we have, thank you, and 2 at £20. And selling is at 2 at £20. Any more? Seems a bit of a bargain to me at £20. Any more? At £20, we're about to sell. Last time.
I'm so sorry.
Well, so much for the little and large theory.
I'm gutted.
Yeah, I bet you are. I'm sorry about that.
Tim's fairly tiny pounds pot.
Are you excited about this silver pot?
We have a commission bid here. I'm going to start at £40. Is there 20 in the room? Start me £50. £50 straight in up at the top there, thank you.
What?
And 5.
Thank you,
At
sir.
£50 anymore. At £50 we're selling. Are you all done? Last
Short and
time
sweet.
at £50.
Oh yes, thank you, madam. There we are. Maybe she writes letters.
People still do, I think.
I needed that pounds. The pounds.
I need pounds. I need pounds, not pounds.
Catherine's Oriental handbag.
£20. A tenner then. £10 surely. £10.
Really?
£10 up at the top, thank you, and 12. At £10, are you all done? Selling then at £10
Having such
last
a bad
time.
You've just been a bit beaten up today.
Yeah, right. Everything was lost.
Oh.
This is where I try to remain positive. Lord.
This is just a blood bath. I can't bear it.
Well, you may just want to avert your eyes a bit while Tim's plinth takes the stage with the 5th profit, very likely.
£80, is there 5 in the room? 85 on the net, 90
It's going to go
5,
crazy, isn't it?
110, 120, 130, 140, 150, 160.
It's so good. It's such a good thing.
170.
I'm so
It's
excited.
160 with Dave's phone, is there 170? At £160,
Such a good-looking
to the
thing.
phone, last time.
I might as well just give up.
No, don't
Go
give
home.
up. Don't give up.
No, I'm going home. I'm off.
Oh dear.
No! I think you might have done too well here, Tim.
Brilliant. Brilliant finds. Really, really good.
This calls for the Camel Squad. Profit for our Catherine, please, chaps.
Start me at £20. £20. £20.
Come on.
£20.
Stick your hand up.
£20. A tenner. £10 surely. £10. £10. £10, thank you, and 12. At £10 and 12 again. 12. 15. 17. 20.
Come on.
22. £20 right up at the top, is there 2?
No,
at
no,
£20
no.
anymore. We're selling then at £20 if you're all done. Very last time.
That's it. Done. Finished. Oh.
Would it be indelicate to mention getting the hump at this point? Or 4 humps?
They were all lovely things, and I think in the right time and the right place, they should have done really well.
The thing is, if you don't laugh, you'll cry. Unless you cry with laughter. I think it shows the ups and downs of an auction, doesn't it?
Yeah.
In a drastic way. But I think we need to get some fresh air and
Yes, I think we need
carry on. Come on.
Good idea. Let's go outside. Catherine started out with almost £200 and after auction costs made quite a big loss. She now has just over £107 and 18 pence. Say it quickly and it doesn't sound too bad. While Tim, who began with over £240, came away with a whopping great profit, also after costs. So he's now sitting on a very comfy £408 and 30p. Wowee!
Oh, what an auction, eh?
That was just... Well, you were kind of there, and I'm kind of there. But my goodness, you did so well. I'm so pleased for you.
Thank
and
you.
it couldn't happen to a nicer guy. You're
Onwards and upwards. Come on.
Yes, I think I need upwards. Come on, upwards.
Next time on Antiques Road Trip.
You can't drive this and not want to go...
Catherine pulls out all the stops.
This is a good start, Verdi's Aida, the Grand March.
While Tim falls into some shops.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't going to. Hello, how are you?